Hey guys, welcome to the Floaty channel. Today is a very special episode. We're going to be doing a tutorial on how to make a vinyl print, which is then going to be applied to a t-shirt. This is a heart forget-me-not flower design that I did for a convention and ended up selling this and did a tattoo of a similar piece. I made it with AI and it was very easy. I want to show it to you guys right here. So don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. This is Cricut Maker 3. Let's check it out. So one of my favorite apps for generating t-shirt designs is Dall-E. Dall-E is a very vivid app that has a lot of saturation and a lot of detail and a lot of beautiful tones and things like that in the images that it generates. Some of the other apps also, they don't have the definition in the details that you would need for a t-shirt design. So Dall-E is definitely the way to go. Dall-E versus ChatGPT is really just images versus words. So ChatGPT is better at words and Dall-E is better at images. So that's why we go with that one. Here you can see on March 29th, I did get this project ready for my convention and it doesn't look like it took too much time. I did also, prior to this, have a fine line design of a similar thing so that I could tattoo it, but that version was tattooable. This version is just focused on a t-shirt design. So this is very detailed, as you can see. Take a look at it here. The resolution is just amazing. You can see all the little details in the vessels and the petals there. So you wouldn't be able to get this with a screen print or anything like that, but these are amazing on t-shirts with this Cricut. All right, so you can see my prompt here. Please create an illustrated heart with forget-me-not flowers sprouting out in creative places on the anatomical heart. Fine line drawing. Sounds like a little mishmash from a few different prompts that I had going at the time. But some keywords there, the anatomical heart. That's how I got the anatomical looking heart. Illustrated, I definitely got a lot of good detail in there. I didn't ask for black and white or color, so it gave me an option for either, which is kind of nice. It did do blue on both sides, which is interesting. But yeah, it basically, it doesn't know if I want black and white or color. So I would have had to specify that. I didn't, so it just automatically usually does color, which actually on the left looks great. I'm glad I didn't just do black and white. I think that would be a little boring for a t-shirt. And this printer can handle all this amazing color, so why would we just be boring? So we're going to use that one on the left. Let's make that bigger. So it didn't take long to make this with AI, and it's good though before you decide to use something to look at it a little closer, make sure it has everything it's supposed to. There's a funky little flower in the background here, but it doesn't bother me that much. The vessels are probably, and yes, the vessels are inaccurate, but they don't bother me either. It looks like a good anatomical heart. Looking up close to the edges, I see a really nice defined edge, a very clear difference between the object in the foreground, the heart, and the background, which is just plain white. Sometimes the AI will put other colors in the background. I think it's kind of hard to separate them sometimes. It's good if there's a big contrast between the background. All right, so then what do we do with this? We're going to save this. And there's two ways we can cut it out, but the best way to cut out the background is in Procreate first, if you can do it easily. This one looks like I can, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, here is our picture in Procreate. We have this nice white background, so we're going to go to the select tool. It's on automatic, and we're just going to select the white background. We're also going to select some of the areas in between that we want taken out. Just a couple of white spots. We're going to cut that. And now we should just have the object. Oops, let me grab this piece too. Cut it. And this little black area doesn't bother me. Okay, so with the background on in Procreate, it just looks white. We turn it off. That's how we can see just the object. So you want to make sure that there's no little pieces left over there. This is the view that you need to be in to assure that there's nothing left over that you're going to have to cut out from your design. You don't want to have to cut anything out. You want the Cricut to do all the work for you. All right, so now that we have this view, we're going to export this as a PNG, but first I'm just going to save it. So you just go to PNG and save image. I want to show you really quickly that without the background, it looks a little different in iPhoto. It now looks like this. So you might also see in this view that it still looks white, but when you click it, it's dark. So that's the PNG. You can also go to your info button at the top here and just see that it is a PNG file. So you definitely need to make sure that it is a PNG with no background. And now we can send it over to the Cricut. Okay, here we are on my MacBook, and we're going to take this PNG. We're going to put it into the Cricut application. So first, let's open up the Cricut down here, Design Space. All right, we're going to go to New Project, and then we're going to upload that PNG. Go to Upload and Browse. Here it is. All right, and then you'll see it right there on the screen. All you do is press continue from here and then apply and continue. When you get to the convert upload screen, you want to go to flat graphic. And over here, I'm just going to organize my stuff into t-shirts. Change your image name. And we're going to upload that. Okay, so we want to get the maximum size that we can out of this design because I want it to print as big as I can on the t-shirt. We have the limitation of the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that fits in the printer. So in order to do that, I'm just going to make this as big as it can go until I see this little red exclamation point appear right here. Okay, then we're going to click that and we're going to go to Auto Resize Image, and that should give us the largest possible one that we can get. We're going to keep this as print then cut because we are printing this before we're going to make the vinyl cuts. So let's make the print now onto the paper. We have the vinyl paper that we've purchased from Amazon. We're going to go to Make. And I'm just going to save this to stickers. Okay, now we are, you can see the layout here, how it's going to be sitting on the Cricut. We have print then cut. Everything looks good. We're going to go to continue. So from here, you're going to see that it says send to printer. So this is the part where we're going to print on a separate printer. I have my Epson over there, so I'm going to go ahead and send to that. Okay, we have the thermal transfer paper here. This is what we're going to print on first, and then this will eventually get transferred onto the fabric. This is for dark fabric, as you can see right here, and you want to get that dark fabric one from Amazon. So you'll follow the link in the description below for that. If you're doing light fabric, you will use a different one. Here's a piece of the transfer paper. So you see one side has writing on it. So you want to print on the white side. Okay, we have the paper all loaded, and so now we are going to go to next, and it has us on the print setup page. So as you can see, it's connected to my Epson 2800 Series 2. That particular model of printer, I do have to set it to glossy manually, but that is something that you will want to do to get the best print. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to glossy right now. Okay, it's all set to glossy, and now we're going to print. Awesome. All right, so there's our print. I'm going to show you up close. So that glossy setting got all those beautiful details. I'm going to show you what it looks like without glossy on. Acha! So definitely want to turn that glossy on. Okay, so now that we have our design and we have our Cricut, we can cut it out. So in order to do that, we first have to put the design onto the cutting mat. The cutting mat has the top where the opening is, and obviously the top of our design's here, but you can see the arrow as well. So we're going to line this up at the top left of our cutting mat. I'm just gonna press it down a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and open up the Cricut, and we're gonna turn it on. So I'm just going to go back over to the MacBook. All right, great. So we got our Maker 3 connected now via Bluetooth, and we are in the set base materials section. So now that we're here, we definitely want to use that printable iron-on dark. Make sure that's clicked. This is where you'll find one extra setting. This is a pressure setting for default more or less. Default seems fine for the printable vinyl. I haven't had any trouble with this particular vinyl. The iron-on seems to be really thin, so it seems to be able to cut through it no problem. So load tools and material. So we do not have to load a blade in the machine. It came already loaded. All we have to do is press the load and unload button on the machine. So I'm going to go back over there to the machine. We have our picture nicely matted here, and we want to use this top section here to insert. You can see the blinking button. I want to make sure these little things are over top of the mat, so it's actually going in the machine. And just let go. All right, so it's all ready to go. You want to make sure there's plenty of space behind the printer as well as in front. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start the print. So this is the part where you go relax. All right, so same button to take it out. Did you see all that amazing work that Cricut just did, cutting all those little edges? So now everything is perforated. Okay, here it is. So, a little tricky. We're now going to remove the white backing so that we just have the vinyl print on its own. In order to this, we're just going to pull each corner and be really careful about it. Let's start with the bottom right corner. Okay, we got one corner up. Just being real careful here. All right, we did it. So we're going to take this scraper tool now, and we're going to use this side to just help this off now that we have all that backing removed. So that will get that going. And we should be able to just take it off, but there's lots of little pieces on this guy, so we're going to be careful. There's a little piece that could be weeded out there later. We're not going to worry about that right now. Let's just get this off of here. So just very delicate, so you don't want to go too fast. That little piece came off for me. Some of your projects might have more to weed out. This one really didn't have much. There it is. All right, so we managed to get our heart out without any breakage. Just want to clear off any little excess pieces. We have our tools to do that. There we go. Okay. I think it's looking pretty good. All right, I think it's ready to go on a t-shirt. Yeah. All right, I have this blank t-shirt. I'm just gonna put it on the ironing board at the top. You wanna align it so that it's very centered. I wanna give it a little clean too, just to make sure it sticks well. All right, so we're going to get to the heat press now. There's 3 different settings that matter for the heat press. We have the amount of time, the heat, and the pressure. All of these are determined by the paper that you use. The paper that we recommend to you guys will be in a link in the description below. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the heat press, and it's going to get to temperature on its own. Our settings were 50 to 60 pounds of pressure, so it's going to tell us that as we're pushing down on it, but we're going to wait till it gets to max degrees Fahrenheit here. Once you figure out the settings you're going to use, you can preset them. So now it's at 320 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is the preset that we have preloaded based on the paper. So that is up to temperature. We're going to move that to the side for a second. Be careful. So now we're going to get the design onto the shirt. And we basically just have to eyeball it. There's a tool that helps align it a little bit, but honestly, I feel like you can kind of just figure it out with your eyeballs where it looks good. That tool isn't super helpful. It's just basically a ruler. Another good way to do it is to check where the tag is. That can kind of give you a hint as to where the approximate center of the shirt is. And then height-wise is kind of up to you. You don't want it to be too high. You don't want it to be too low. Typically for the back of the shirt, you'll see the design a little bit lower, maybe because people's hair are going to cover this part. So Super delicate, so it likes to stick to your fingers, so it will kind of shift a little bit even at the slightest touch. All right, when you got it pretty much where you think it should go, everything's flattened out. I'm gonna put this paper over top. This is a heat press paper. So this heat press paper can be found with the transfer paper. You don't have to buy this separately. It will come with the paper. So don't worry about that. You've got this nice heat transfer paper that comes in the kit. So we're just gonna align that. And now that it is over top of the design, we're gonna grab the heat press and we're gonna come over on top of the design. Okay, and as we're on top of it, we're going to press this green button and we're gonna start applying pressure. I wanna do 50 to 60 pounds of pressure. Quite a bit of pressure. There we go. Okay, it's done. We're gonna lift it off, put it to the side, and we're going to leave that the way it is for 1 whole minute, okay? Okay, it's been about a minute. Let's take this off and see if we did it right. All right, yep, it's on there. So I want to let that dry, or kind of air out rather, for a little while so that it really is on there well. Let it cool down, because once it's totally cooled down, it'll be at its maximum stickiness. So we're not gonna touch it or mess with it. Not at all. All right, we're done. We made this awesome shirt. Here it is. And it didn't take long at all, especially with the help from AI. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Everything that you need to make your own vinyl shirts at home will be in the comments section below. But before you go, please like and subscribe. Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye.